Anybody ever blamed somebody before? Yeah. Right? Anybody ever not did something or not achieved the goal because it was somebody else's fault? Right? Anybody not pass a class because your teacher wasn't a good teacher? You know what I find interesting? You know what I find interesting about not passing a class because the teacher wasn't good? Is that at the end of the day when you get a transcript, your teacher's name is not on it. When you get a transcript, your teacher's name is not on the transcript. So when you turn that transcript into college, you turn that transcript into an employer, they want to look at your grades or grad school, they don't see the teacher. All they see is you failing the class. Blaming people is the easiest thing in the world to do. You can blame the sky. Anybody ever walk into a pole and blame the pole? There's a lot of detours to success, but self can be one of the biggest ones, and sometimes we have to overcome self. Why? What does self tell you? What's that?
That you can't.
That you can't do it.
That you're not capable.
That you're not capable. Now, I have a question for you. Real quickly. Why would yourself, like yourself knows you, like it wants the best for you, right? Like it's you. Like you want your best for yourself, right? If anybody's gonna look out for me, I look out for myself, right?
That's right.
But yourself not looking out? What's going on? Self not looking out. Why would yourself tell you things that could hurt you and stop you from being successful?
Past experiences.
Past experiences, yeah.
A new experience.
A new experience. Does anybody self not like pain? Like, if you gotta exercise something, like, ooh, that's gonna hurt. I don't want to exercise, that's gonna hurt. Self's like, oh, you ain't doing that. Anybody ever try to study, and yourself is like, no, you ain't studying tonight. See, a lot of times, when we find ourselves off from where we want to be, and if you are exactly where you want to be, fantastic. But if you look at your experiences up to this point and say, okay, I can be a little further, then you have to really examine what are the detours that have been stopping you from being successful. And hopefully by the end of this presentation, you're going to be able to at least think, analyze, look at yourself and say, what are the barriers that are stopping me from getting those grades? Right? What are the barriers that are stopping me from putting my effort into this? But the interesting thing about detours is that we talked about self being one. But sometimes the situation really is a bad situation. Sometimes there are literal challenges, right? Sometimes it makes sense, at least to everybody around you, for you to give up. Sometimes it makes sense. In fact, sometimes the people around you will encourage you to give up. Because what you're doing, your success, when you say, I want to be successful, it doesn't make sense because of the work that you're going to have to go through to get there. So when other people see it, you guys said family and friends, sometimes, right? And sometimes I've heard that the people closest to us sometimes can do us the most damage. Because sometimes, when you set a goal and you say, I want to do that, the people look at you and say, you can't do that. I know you. I grew up with you. I've seen you. You're not smart enough. You can't sing well enough. You can't write. You can be a writer. You can't be a doctor. You're an idiot. And sometimes we have to face a real challenge and a struggle. And in fact, shortly you're going to hear some stories. And these stories are going to be about people who had to overcome some very real challenges. And I don't know what your background is. We're a very diverse group of students, of people just in this room. I face challenges. I have come from a different experience. Matt comes from a different experience. And sometimes we face very real struggles. There are a lot of struggles that say that when you start college, that you're not going to finish college. So there are some very real, literal challenges up ahead.